All right, let's go. Looking, baby. We're going to be looking like a champ today. We're going to focus on the function of the neck, which obviously plays a really big role in looking. Reminds me of that scene from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I don't remember exactly, but it was something like there was a woman who was comparing the man of the house being the head, but the woman was the neck. I don't know why I just thought of that, but let's whatever. So in any event, we're going to do a great routine today. Obviously, I'm biased. We're just going to start with a few grounding breaths. We'll hop in, get some litmus tests. Litmus tests. Try to say that 10 times fast. Litmus test established. To establish our starting point. We'll do something constructive. We'll immediately come back to recheck. And I just want to say, if you are somebody that's involved in any kind of therapeutic regimen right now, and you don't know within a single session if what you're doing is helping you, it's not helping you. You have to know, you have to be able to validate your efforts immediately. If you don't have a short feedback loop, you're going to lose motivation and things are probably inevitably going to get worse over time. So, all right, let's get to it. Let's start with 3 grounding breaths in through the nose. Rest deeply, my friends. One more here. Okay, let's get to it. So let's check our posture. Feet hip width. Are your shoulders rounded, neutral, or chest out? I am chest out this morning to start. All right. And now let's do our litmus test, okay? So we're going to use looking. Make sure that wherever you stand in your room, that you can get exactly back to that point, all right? It's really good to be able to compare apples to apples. So we'll look over the left shoulder 5 times. And what we're looking for is, without forcing it, how far does your body naturally turn? And then what can you see very clearly? Not in your periphery, like dead on. All right, and so I've got mine. I've got a pelvis sitting on my desk. Very strange, I know. It's not real, by the way. We'll go to the right. And I definitely have less range here. More feels like my upper body is turning, but my lower body's not going with me. And one more, and there's a box right in the corner of my office, right? So I've got that. Now on this next one, we're going to go in the frontal plane. So you're going to let your head fall to the left as your hips slide to the right. All right, and then as you do that, let your arm just slide down the side of your body. So this will be a way for you to measure this movement. All right, and then you're going to, on the 5th one, we're just going to notice, where are the fingers in relation to the knee or the leg? All right, so right now I'm probably at maybe about midway down my knee. Okay, let's check the other side. And much shorter range here for me. 4, one more, 5. Okay, I'm above the knee here, considerably above. All right, and the last one here in the sagittal plane, what we're going to do, it's a combination of a chin tuck. Okay, notice when I'm tucking my chin, I'm allowing my shoulders to round, right? And I'm also softening my knees at the same time, all right? So chin tuck, soften the knees. Chin tuck, soften the knees. Get those 2 things happening. Chin tuck, soften the knees, and then hollow out the midsection. So I'm trying to turn myself into the letter C. And then you're just measuring in your mind's eye the amount of flexion that you can create. Now, this is going to be on the fly, but if I was to try to measure this, I think I would just take my arms and let them reach back and just get a sense of, like, how far are my arms behind me, because they're reflecting how much rounding I'm doing through my spine right now. That's how far back they go. We can recheck that at the end. Okay. So now let's go extension. This one's pretty easy. It's how high is the chin moving? All right, and so probably pointing up somewhere about there. I'm trying to reach toward the ceiling and then beyond. Right? And your ability to lift your chin is largely related to, you could actually say it's a measure of your abdominal core strength. One more here. Get that chin lifted. You shouldn't be feeling any pinching in your back. Okay? So those are our litmus tests. We'll come back and check those at the end. All right, so what you're going to need is like a towel or pillow or something that you can lean your head against. All right, so grab that. And then what I'll say about looking, I think this is pretty cool. It's this concept of real and relative motion at a joint. Okay, and so there's two ways to create left cervical rotation or left rotation of the neck. One, ready? One is just looking over my left shoulder, right? Now this is my head moving on my body. Okay, so that's left rotation. But then if I were to look straight and I were to take my left arm and reach it across my body, this is also left rotation because now this is my body moving on my head, right? So they both create rotation. One's from the top down and one's from the bottom up. And they're both important. So let's go with, you can let them in. Let's go with, hi Banks, my favorite little cavalier who still doesn't like me after 9 months. He's like, where you going, Ma? He's like, so rude. Close the door, please. All right, so sorry, personal stuff. Get your towel. You're gonna put it about head height here on the wall, okay? You're gonna lean on the top center of your forehead and you have to make sure that point stays fixed, okay? So about head height, you wanna make sure you're standing back a little bit, so you have to lean forward in order to reach it. So I'd say my feet are about 3 feet away from the wall, okay? So there's a forward lean. And the first thing I want you to do is just get comfortable having pressure on your forehead against the wall. All right, take a breath. Take a couple. Pressurize. What we're doing is called grounding. We're creating stability for our neck. Okay, we have to satisfy that need first so that our body can then prioritize restoring mobility. All right? So I'm just allowing my whole body to kind of connect to the wall here. All right? So I'm just a couple breaths. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to have your feet probably a little bit wider than hip width, just so you feel really stable. All right, you're gonna cross your arms across your chest. So your hands are touching your opposite shoulders. Now you're just gonna rotate your shoulders to the left 10 times. Now remember, that point on the forehead is fixed. That's not changing. So the question is, how far can I rotate my shoulders to the left without my head moving? 8, 9. We're going to hold the 10th one. Hold. Okay, ready? We're going to pulse. Nice and easy at the end range. This is a fantastic way to develop body awareness and get a sense of where your threshold is, because you're just bumping right up to the edge every time. 9, 10. Okay. Now, if you need to take a quick break, that's totally fine. Many of us are not used to having pressure on our head like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back. All right, let's go arms across the chest. We're going to rotate the shoulders now to the right. Shoulders to the right. And you just want to get a sense of how well is my body turning to the right when my head is fixed. This is the equivalent, by the way, of looking over the left shoulder, even though it's the body turning to the right. The head's, relatively speaking, going to the left. 9, we're going to hold the next one. Hold. Okay, ready? Let's pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Excuse me, I've got some visitors here. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. There we go. Friends are welcome. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the plane of motion. We're now gonna go into the side-to-side plane. So we're gonna be in the same position, but instead of rotating the shoulders, we're gonna be sliding the hips, okay? So we're gonna send a different reaction up the chain. So let's go back to head fixed. All right, for when I slide my hips, I prefer my feet to be a little bit more on the narrow side. And since I am gonna go narrower with my feet, I'm gonna hold with my hands because I always wanna have a really good amount of stability. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to center to the left. So you're gonna slide the hips to the left. Slide to the left. Make sure the point on the top center of your forehead stays fixed. 5, 6, nice and easy. Just see, where does the body naturally go? 9, hold the next one, hold. Okay, ready? Pulse, gentle. Find your edge. Don't bash into it. Just easy. Just touch it. Okay, you're forming your own boundaries here, or you're seeing where your nervous system's boundaries are. 9, 10. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in the other direction. So we're gonna slide the hips to the right. And by the way, when your hips slide to the right, your neck is actually bending to the right. Because the body moves off center, but the head stays fixed. So the head actually has to bend to the right in order to stay in relative alignment with the body. So if you ever done like a side bend with your head and you feel like you can't bring one ear as close to your shoulder as the other one, this would be a great technique to balance that out. We're gonna go one more here. We're gonna hold, ready, pulse. So as we're going through these, I'll just say there's this area right before your threshold where your body starts sending signals of resistance, putting on the brakes. And then once you go past that, then you just hit into a brick wall. And what I see is people hit into that brick wall too often. 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, in the last plane of motion, instead of moving the hips side to side, we're now going to be moving the hips back, okay? Just like that. And this is the equivalent of creating extension. And then we're going to flip it to, actually, let's flip it first because maybe you're a little tired through your neck. So what you want to do on this one is you're going to get your towel over the back of your head, okay? And then you want to just get your head up against the wall. And then from here, what you want to do is you want to set your feet. Okay, so this is my feet up kind of like close to the wall. I want to set my feet forward. So my head's going to have to slide down a little bit. You want to make sure you're leaning back, okay? Now, when I'm leaning back with my head, this is the equivalent of the chin tuck, okay? This is cervical flexion, right? So, and then from here, what we're going to do, now you can hold onto the wall for some extra stability, and it's really helpful to do that if you can reach there. If not, maybe down or if any way that you can, all right? And so from here, what you want to do is you're going to let your hips slide back, just like that. And then as your hips slide back toward the wall, your neck is responsible for controlling this load. Okay, so that you might have heard the term back core, right? This stimulates the whole posterior chain back core. You should feel the muscles all the way down the back, firing up just to control the movement so you don't crash into the wall. We'll call that 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold this. Ready? We're going to pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2 more. Oh yeah, baby. That's a good burn. Okay, so this is also a really good one, by the way. If you spend a lot of time looking at a screen whether it's a computer or a phone, if you think about it, right? Like if your eyes are fixed forward, you're telling your brain through your eyes what's important to you. So your whole body will move toward it. And that's why we develop like the rounded shoulders. But if you think about it, when you're leaning back against the wall here, you're pushing your head back and you have something really stable and you're stimulating all the muscles on the backside. If you were to sit in a chair, observe your posture, come do this movement and go back, you're going to notice a difference. Okay, so this is a great way to reverse forward head as well as looking. Okay, so now let's finish in the other direction. We're going to go back to the position where we've been exploring. Okay, so top center of the forehead. All right, and then from here, what's going to happen is you're going to slide your hips back. Now, when you slide your hips back, I do want you to allow pressure to slide from the top center of your forehead down toward the bridge of your nose. Okay, you're not necessarily going to go that far, but that's the direction. So when you slide your hips back, you should feel your nose come closer to the wall. Okay, allow that slide to happen. Every time we do that, that's the equivalent of lifting the chin. Let's go a couple more here. Let's hold the next one. Hang right there. Pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1. Woo. All right. Listen, I broke my neck, so I can tell you that this routine has been instrumental in restoring my cervical function. So let's go back to our litmus tests. All right, we want to stand back to where we were in the beginning, and let's just look over the shoulder. All right, so I was looking at this pelvis model here. I'm seeing a picture here on my wall between my windows. Yep, huge difference. Many, many degrees of rotation. Let's go to the other side. And I was seeing a box in the corner of my office. I'm now very clearly seeing my closet. Probably about a similar degree of rotation. And interestingly, I feel my lower body actually going with me this time, even though we did work in my neck, right? So there was my neck limiting my lower body function, all right? You can't separate upper lower body. When it comes to function, it's just all one, all right? That's hard to wrap your mind around. The next thing we want to do is let's go to the slide, okay? So you're going to let your hip slide to the left as your arm slide, your hip slide to the right as your head falls to the left. Okay, and I'm getting down to the bottom of my knee now. It's probably just about halfway down. And now if I just hold that, I'm at the bottom of the knee. Okay, so clear difference there. And then this was very limited. I couldn't even get to my knee before. But now I'm getting down to mid-knee. All right, and now we're going to go into flexion. Okay, so this is tucking the chin, softening the knees, hollowing out. Right, and then right at the end, we added that little bit of a reach. Okay, so now I can go way further back here, which means that my spine is rounding more. Let's say my arms were here before. Because my spine's rounding more, my arms are going further back. Okay, so that's our measurement. Okay, that feels really good. And then we're going to go chin lifted. And now I'm pointing straight up to the ceiling, maybe even a little bit further. So massive difference all the way around. Oh, it feels good. Let's finish with our posture scan. Now I'm super chest out. And also my whole body feels lifted. It's not just my chest now. I feel my abdomen's lengthened. I feel my glutes engaged. I feel my feet heavier on the ground. Just a really good reaction. Okay, and let's finish with our 3 deep breaths, one for mind. One for body. And one for spirit. And I like the mind, body, spirit. I did mind, body, spirit coaching for about 10 years. It's a great way to honor ourselves as whole people. I'll just finish with this little fidget spinner. I had this realization in December of 2010. Awesome, Jenna. Having so low back pain this morning. Me too. My back was killing me getting out of bed. My gosh, it was so bad. I had this realization in December 2010 that people were coming. So we're an interconnected, ready? Mind, body, and spirit. Right? People were coming to me to enhance their body, but it was their mind holding them back and their spirit that was suffering. And that's what fundamentally caused me to pivot away from personal training and hands-on body work into coaching, to really figure out this whole mind, body, spirit thing. Now, I wouldn't say I've got it figured out, but I've definitely learned a lot about what it means to be a whole person. And so when I meet with people now, I essentially treat them like this. They're not mind, body, or spirit. It's mind, body, spirit. It's all one, right? And so it's an honor and privilege to be able to treat the whole person. So thank you. Just important to know, if you had any imbalances anywhere in your body, it's the imbalance that's causing whatever you're feeling, your stiffness, numbness, tingling, flare-ups, whatever you're feeling, you just got to correct the imbalance. At Expanding Capacity, we show you how to identify where those imbalances are exactly. So there's no guesswork. And now I'm going to go hop into a chat with my members. We're going to explore some more movement. So if this was good for you, please come join us at school.com/expanding capacity. I'll see you back tomorrow. We'll hop into the shoulders as it relates to looking. Cheers.